class, I'm Isaac, your mathematics teacher from Smart Online. I'll be teaching you each topic, and before you go, subscribe to our channel and press that notification button so that you'll be notified for every video that we are going to be uploading. So let's go to class. Hi class, we are considering approximation. Now, what are the content? These are subtopics. Approximation of numbers. Number 2, quantitative reasoning on approximation. Approximation of numbers. To approximate a number, it means to write a number near the original number. That is, a number that is not exactly the original number. Are you following? Is to approximate a number means to write a number near the original number that is not exactly the original number. Now, it may be a bit more or less than the original number. Whole numbers can be approximated to the nearest 10, 100, 1,000, million, and so on. Now you get this better. Let's consider the table below. Let's consider this table. Yeah. Now when you see 186, we approximate it to nearest 10. This will be approximated to nearest 10. That means a single unit, which is single zero. Now you are going to start from right, and then you count single unit, which is, you cancel this one, which is 6. However, 6 is greater than 5. That means when you cancel this one, you round it up to 1, round it down to 1, and add it to the closest number to that 6, which is 8. Now when you add it, it's going to turn to 9, and then this 6 will turn to 0. It means you are going to get 190. That is why you get this. Now let's go to second one, which is 1586, and then they say we should round it up to nearest 100. It means we are considering 2 unit position, which is 2-digit number, right from the right hand side. We are not going to count number 1 and number 2. The second one is actually 8. That means we are going to round these two together to 0. We are going to turn them to 0. Now, however, 8 is greater than 5. Then you are going to round it down to 1 and add it to the closest number to 8, which is 5. Add 1 to 5 is going to turn to 6. That's why you are going to get 1600. That's why we get 1600. Let's go again to 346 to nearest 100. That is 2-digit number, 2-digit position rather, starting from right, which is 6 and 4. But this second number, which is 4, is less than 5. So you are not going to add it to, you are not going to turn it to 1, round it up to 1. You are going to round it down to 0, and then 0 will be added to 3, which means 3 will remain 3. And then the 2 of them will turn to 0. It's now going to be 300. That's why we get 300 here. Now let's move on again to 1481 to the nearest 10, meaning a single unit. A single unit. Are you seeing it now? That means what is the single unit here? Position starting from right is 1, and then you turn 1 to 0. Why? Because 1 is less than 5, and then it cannot be rounded down to 1. Are you getting it now? So that's why it's turned to 0, and the closest number to it remains the same. We're now going to get 1480. That's why we get 1480. And then let's go to the next one, which is 687.4. Then to the nearest unit means to the whole number. You remove decimal number. That's what they are saying. You remove decimal number. There will be no any decimal point. So you remove this one. However, 4 is greater than 5. That means we round this one up down to 0. So we are not going to add anything. It's not going to be 687.0, and 0 is not a number significant. Just remove it and turn this one to cancel all of them. That's why we get 687. Now let's go to 4225. To the nearest 1000 mean 3 unit position, which is 0. You turn it to 0, 0, 0. Are you following now? This is now going to be 1, 2, 3, which is now going to turn to 0. But the third position, which is 2, is less than 4, is less than 5, and then you are going to round it down to 0. You are not going to round it down to 1. So that means you add 0 to 4, 4 remain the same, while all the 3-digit number turn to 0. That is what we are saying. That's why all of them will turn to 0 and we get 4000. Now let's go to 69685.42 to the nearest 10, meaning a single number, and this number is the last number before decimal point, which is this one. Are you getting it now? The last number before decimal point, which is 5. Then turn 5 to 0, and then 5 is up to 5. Then that means it's going to be 1, and then you add that 1 to the closest number to it, which is 8. Then 8 will turn to 9 and 5 will turn to 0. That's why we get 69690. This is it. This 9690. Now let's go to 2.634 to the nearest hundredth. When you are approximating to the nearest hundredth, this th make it different from 100. So that means you are saying 2 unit position immediately after decimal point. Are you getting it now? 2 unit position immediately after decimal point. Any other number after that one will turn to 0. That's the difference between this one. Are you getting it now? You are not going to start from 6, which is 1, and 2, which is 3. So anything after them will be rounded up to 0, and then it's only 4 that is after them, and that 4 is less than 5. You are not going to add any 1 to the closest number to 4, which is 3. So that means 3 remain 3. It's now going to be 2.63. This one will turn to 0. That's why we get this one. Are you following now? Now 0.314 to the nearest thousandth. Now since it's thousandth, it means point 000. It means you are going to count 3-digit position, and then any number after 3-digit position will be invalid, will be 0. Now starting from after decimal point, you're now going to 1, 2, 3. So we have counted 3-digit position, and after this 3-digit position there is no other number left. That means this number remains the same as 0.214, but there is no number here again to round it up to. So that is how to do your approximation. These are things that we have done. Approximation, that's what we have done. So let us move on. Now from the above table that we have seen, we can see that when numbers are approximated, they do not give the exact result expected. Are you following now? In approximation, we only consider next figure we are approximating. Now if it is up to 5 and above, we take it as 1 and add that 1 to the figure we are approximating to. And if it is less than 5, we take it to 0 and add 0 to the figure we are approximating to. I know it is clear. Now let's go to the example so that you get this very well. Example: sum 48,226 and 592 and approximate your answer to 100, that is 2 unit position. Now you are starting. Now solution. Of course you know how to add this one. Addition, you get 866. Now to the nearest hundredth mean, you are going to start from right. You count 2 unit position, 1, 2. That means you are going to round it, this one, you turn it to 0. Are you following now? And then, but the 6, which is the second one, is greater than 5. You round it up to 1 and add that 1 to the closest number, which is 8. And 8 will turn to 9, and all other number here will turn to 0. Are you seeing that? That's how we get 900. Yeah, let's move on. Another example now. Simplify 1984 minus 689 minus 800 plus 215. If you add it together, you get 710. And then round this 710 or approximate this 710 to the nearest 100. That is 2 unit position. You are going to get 1, 2. And then the second unit position is 1, which is less than 5. Then it's going to be rounded down to 0. And then we are going to add that 0 to 7. And that means 7 remains 7. It's now going to turn to 700. So that's what you are saying. To the nearest 100 means you get 700. So let's move on. Then another example is this. The height of 3 educators are 1.45 meters, 3 meters, and 2.11 meters. Calculate the total height and approximate to the nearest 100th. 100th means you count them immediately after decimal point. Now do the addition, add them together, you get what? You get 6.56 meters. Are you following now? You get 6.5 meters. To the nearest 100th, it means you are going to count 2 unit position after decimal, which is 1, 2. And after the 2 of them, there is no any other number after them that you can round up. That means no number. I depend that we have something like 7 immediately. That means you are going to turn this 7 to 0 and add 1 to 6, which is the closest to 7. But now there is no other number. That means this to 100th, to nearest 100th, remain the same as the answer. So let's move on. To the nearest 100, 6.56 is the answer. Note that in this example, the answer is exactly the same as the number approximated, which is 6.56 meters. Note this one. Correcting numbers to the nearest 10 means you are leaving your answer with only 1 0 at the back of your answer. That is a unit position. Are you following? That's what we have done. And why you are approximating to the nearest 100 and 1000, it means you are leaving for 20 for 100 and for 30 for 1000 at the back respectively. Now let's go to example so that you know it better. Write 7882 to the nearest number A, nearest 10, B, nearest 100, and C, nearest 1000. Solution. Now when you do 7882 to the nearest 10, meaning one single unit position starting from right, which is 2, you turn this 2 to 0 because 2 is less than 5. That means you are not going to add any 1 to the closest number to it. That means you get 7820 to the nearest 10, because 7822 is nearer to 7820 than 7830. Are you seeing it now? That's why we get this answer. I think you understand this. So let's move on. Now 7822 to the nearest 100 is going to turn to, this is what we are saying, you are going to count to 1, 2. That means you are going to turn this 2 number to 0. Are you following me? And then you know the second unit position, which is this 2, is less than 5. You cannot add 1 to 8 anymore. That means you turn them to 0 and 8 remain as it is, which is now going to be 7800. That's why we get this. It means that to the nearest 10, because this 7822 is nearer to 7800 than 790. You get this answer because as you round this thing up, this 2 here is not up to 5, and then you cannot put anything to 8. Let's move on very quickly. Now the third one, to the nearest 1000, it means you are approximating to 3-digit number, which is from right 1, 2, and 3. Now the third one is 8 is greater than 5. then you are going to round it down to 1. You are going to round it down to, you add 1 to 7, and 7 will turn to 8, and the rest will turn to 0, 0. The 3, are you getting it? That's why we get 8, 0, 0, 0 to the nearest 10, because 7822 is nearer than 8,000. It's nearer to 8,000 than 7,000. Are you following now? That's what we got. That's the answer. So you know that for 100, nearest 100, we have 20. For nearest 10, we have 10. For nearest 1,000, we have 30. Can we move on now? Let's move on very quickly. Yeah. Numbers could be rounded up to a given significant figures. Significant figures are obtained by counting the numbers of digits in a given number. When rounding up or down a number to given significant figures, we count the digit of the number from left. Note this, not approximation. When we are doing approximation, we were doing it from right, but right now for significant figure, we are doing it from left hand side to the required significant figures. Then we consider the next digit to do the rounding up or down, and this will mean if the digit is less than 5, we round it down. We round down the number to 0. Are you getting it? But if the number is equal to or greater than 5, we round it down to 1. This is what we have been doing in approximation also, but they're a little different in rounding up to significant figure. Is what you are going to see in this example. Now example. Round off A 456.36, B 0.03278 to Roman figure 1, 2 significant figures. Roman figure 2, 3 significant figures. Now let's go. Solution. Now for number 1, 465.36 Roman figure 1 to 2 significant figure, you are going to start counting from the first non-zero digit number from the left. Are you getting it? And the first non-zero digit number is 4. We are now going to count 2 significant figures, that is 2 digits. This is 1 and this is 2. Are you seeing it now? This is 2. Therefore, any other one now will be rounded up. Now, however, 6 is the one that is closest to the second significant figure, which is 5. Now you are going to round 6 up to 1 and add that 1 to 5, and that 5 will turn to 6, and this figure will turn to 0. Another one will turn to 0. There is no point to write 0.00, so we just remove it. That's why we get this one to be 460. When you are talking about significant figure, you are starting from the left and you are going to start counting from non-zero number. It's not 0. If 0 is in the front, it's not going to be a significant figure. Are you following? So let's go to number Roman figure 2, which is 3 significant figure. 3 significant figure. Now let's move on. Now for 3 significant figures, now you are going to count 3 significant figures from left, that is non-zero number from left, and you are going to count 1, 2 and 3. Are you seeing it now? So every other number will be rounded up. However, 3 is not up to 5. That means we are going to round this 3 down to 0, and we are going to add 0 to the closest number, which is 6, that we are going to be approximating to. So therefore 6 remains. That's why we get 456. That is why we get this answer. Are you following now? So while we have removed all of this, so that is 3 significant figure. Now let's go to the second one, part B, which is 0.03278. Well, for two significant figures, is going to be, you are going to count from left and start with the first non-zero figure. Non-zero figure, you are not going to start from here. It's zero. It's zero. No way. You are not going to start from here. You are not going to start from here. But there are times that zero become a significant figure when it's between numbers. When it's between numbers. Are you following me? But now it's at the front, and you are counting from first non-zero, which is 3. You are not going to count for two significant figures. You are going to count 1. You are going to count 2, and that is it. Every other one will be rounded up at this one. However, you know 7 is greater than 5. You are now going to write 7 up to 1 and add it to 2, and it will turn to 3. That's why we got this one to be 0.033 for two significant figure. Now let's go to number Roman figure 2 of this, which is 3 significant figures. You are going to count starting from the first non-zero, which is 3. 1, 2, 3. That means is the third one is in 7. You are going to round up to 7, and the number that is close to 7 is 8, which is greater than 5. That means you are going to turn 8 to 0 and add 1 to the closest number, which is 7, and 7 will turn to 8. It means that the answer is now going to be 0.0328. That's why we get this one for 3 significant figure. And I believe you have understood this. It's very clear and straightforward. That's how to do. You can check past questions for this, and I believe you are going to pass any kind of topic, any kind of exam coming in this topic. So I know. So well done. If you don't understand yet, rewind, pause, and forward until you get everything that you want. So let's move on. Now these are your evaluations that you are going to do. So we get this one done and send it to our mail. Then we are going to respond accordingly. So these are the 3 questions that you are going to solve. So thank you. We see in the next topic.